Sample IELTS. Decision Making, Speaking Part 2. Not too long ago, I was faced with a pretty tough decision. It was about taking a big step forward in my career, but it meant moving to a new city. This choice, which I formed about 6 months back, wasn't a snap decision though. It came amidst this desire to grow professionally and experience a fresh environment. And it was the culmination of a lot of thinking about the pros and cons of such a pivotal life change. And honestly, opting to go for it was the best thing I could have done. It's been super positive for my career. My new role is both exciting and challenging, and it's really helped me expand my skills. Plus, the move itself has been amazing for me personally. I'm seeing things from a different angle and getting to explore new places. Looking back, I have such a sense of satisfaction knowing it was the right call. It showed me how important it is to be adaptable and step outside of my comfort zone. At first, it was definitely scary to leave the familiar boundaries of my old life, but it totally affirmed that sometimes you've got to just go for it when an opportunity feels right for your bigger goals. Seizing that chance and making a decision really affirmed my trust in my own judgment too. What kinds of decisions do people usually make in their daily life? In our day-to-day lives, we're constantly making choices, from simple things like what to have for breakfast to bigger decisions about our careers or relationships. Even picking out what to wear each morning is like a little daily decision. Our attire isn't just about style. It's about how we want to present ourselves to the world. Like, if you're going to a job interview, you'd probably wear a suit to look professional, right? But if you're just hanging out with friends, you'd choose something way more casual. What should people do when making a hard decision? Whenever I have a tough decision to make, I try to take a deep breath and think about all the possible outcomes. It really helps to get some info from reliable sources and spend some time weighing the pros and cons of each option. Talking to friends, family, or even mentors can be really helpful too, since they might see things I haven't considered. But in the end, I always want to go with the choice that feels right for me, the one that fits with my values and what I want in the long run. Do you think it is easier to make a decision by yourself or by discussing it with others? If I have to decide something fast, doing it on my own can be quicker because it's just my thoughts and feelings. But talking it over with other people often gives me extra insights and new ways of looking at things that I might have missed. That back and forth helps me make a more well-rounded choice. But at the end of the day, I've got to go with what feels right for me, even if other people have given me some good ideas. It's got to fit with my own values and what I want. Why do you think many young people don't like to follow their parents' advice? A lot of young people probably feel like their parents' advice is out of date or doesn't really apply to what they're dealing with. There's often a generational gap that can make it hard to see eye to eye. Plus, when you're young, trying to be independent and make your own choices is a big part of figuring out who you are. It's all about identity formation. But this doesn't always mean they're completely rejecting what their parents say. Sometimes, it's more about wanting to show they can stand on their own 2 feet. What should people do to make better decisions? To make the best decisions, having a systematic approach really helps. This means thoroughly researching all your options and understanding what could happen with each choice. Talking to experts or mentors can give you valuable perspectives too. Try listing out the pros and cons to visualize your choices better. Don't rush into impulsive choices. Give yourself time to think. And remember, the most fulfilling decisions are those that align with your values and long-term goals. What kinds of decisions do young people have to make? Young people have so many important choices to make that can really shape their future. They have to navigate decisions about education, like what to study, or if they want to go to college in another country. Career choices are huge too, with internships and job offers all playing a part in their growth. Even personal relationships with friends and partners need careful thought during these formative years. All these decisions not only affect what's happening right now, but also set the stage for their adult lives. Do you think young people are easily influenced by others while they make decisions? Why or why not? Yeah, it's true that younger people can be more susceptible to outside influences. They're still figuring out who they are, and they want to fit in with their friends. Social media and the internet are huge for them, so they get bombarded with different opinions and advice from all over. It's good for them to ask people with more experience for guidance, but it's super important for them to learn how to think for themselves and cultivate the confidence to make their own choices. Do you think some people can make decisions without asking for advice from others? Absolutely. A lot of people are totally fine making their own choices without needing advice. I've met plenty who have that kind of self-confidence and know enough to trust their gut. You see this a lot in folks with a strong mindset. But it's good to be careful because being too independent can sometimes come off as overconfident, or like you don't care about others' feelings. If a decision could really affect other people, then looking for input and trying to get some kind of consensus is probably the way to go. Do you think it's necessary for kids to make as many decisions by themselves as they can? How much kids need to make decisions on their own really depends. Letting them make small choices, like picking out their clothes, helps them grow up independent and confident. But some decisions are just too big for kids, and they need grown-ups to step in to avoid any adverse outcomes. For example, choosing what to study is a really important decision, and they definitely need parental support and guidance to make the best choice for their future.